That's a question. I want you to think, sit, and consider that, and try to think of more than a handful of examples.
A handful of examples, or you're just stacking stuff on? Because I got
Well, the
a
thing
few.
is, a lot of mangakas are not good at ending a series. We've seen this.
Long or short.
Yeah.
Isn't Gantz just like super edgy? How would that even end other than being edgy?
And everyone dies. The end. I got Ed and Eddie.
Yeah,
That ended
sure.
great. And Courage the
Hey,
Cowardly
Wait, does
Dog.
Gantz have an ending?
Courage the Cowardly Dog ended good. Samurai Jack ended well.
Yeah, but then what's our metric for long?
Year?
I want to say it should go at least past 300 chapters.
But is 300 chapters long? Because you could just make like four pages per chapter in like 2 days.
I'd say like 100 or 150 chapters, so that's like 2-3 years.
Yeah, because I've been reading Tokyo Revengers.
The Demon Slayer would be in the category of a long.
Yes.
Damn. This is pretty baseless.
It'll likely be a hard feat to accomplish. Why is that? The answer is complicated.
Fairy Tail twice?
Changes
Okay.
depending upon the genre that you're in, but series become long.
No, he showed Wraith Master, which is Fairy Tail, but again.
It was Fairy Tail before it was Fairy Tail.
Is this Fairy Tail? Because
I mean, that looked like
no, it's not Fairy Tail.
Yeah, are you sure? Anywho,
it's not.
And changes the.
All right. The art style's a bit too different. The way the clothes are drawn.
The answer's complicated.
It's not.
I take your word for it. I'm not familiar with Fairy Tail.
And changes depending upon the genre that you're in, but series become long for a multitude of reasons. Authors generally have a hard time with the concept of ending a story. Despite the fact that Oda is a man who tries to include as many details as possible, I believe that it's
quite... Is that Zephyr? Yo, it's Zephyr.
I should have loved to know what those are from.
At least that looks like Zephyr.
No, that is definitely Zephyr.
I just like Zephyr. Nothing else to add.
As a man who tries to include as many details as possible, I believe that it's quite evident he did not realize the scope of what he had to deal with when it came to the task of actually writing the end of One Piece, especially in correlation to his own desires.
Oh my god!
It's the same.
Excuse me, sir?
It's not Oda. It's not Oda.
Big Oda.
That's Eiji Aonuma, director of the Zelda series.
Noda.
Yeah. No, guys.
It's Noda.
It's Oda. The internet told me so.
I googled it, and this man's face was there, so I pressed a copy.
Wait, is this actually not Oda?
Image? No, it's not.
This is
Eiji Aonuma.
We've seen the same image pop up like 3 times.
Oh god, I thought
because everyone just types in Eiichiro Oda, and then they just click the first image they see.
Was it the first Carrot video in that double feature they did on stream that had this picture of Oda?
It was on Mother's Basement.
I was on Mother's Basement. Okay, yeah, I remember that now.
I thought this was the series director for Metal Gear Solid.
Nah, he's a Zelda guy.
All right, my mistake.
Yeah, you're thinking of Kojima.
Yeah.
The end of One Piece, especially in correlation to his own desires as a creator, because the spawn of a novel or series usually comes from a couple ideas in the past.
He had a picture of
actually, someone clip this and put this in the Discord because this is gold. If anyone
he had an actual picture of Oda before. Just use that again. Like, why'd you do something else that was wrong? Like, I don't understand.
He used several different images, and nonetheless.
Because I can't reuse images, it will ruin my brand.
My brand. Oh, whatever.
Deal with when it came to the task of actually writing the end of One Piece, especially in correlation to his own desires as a creator, because the spawn of a novel or series usually comes from a couple ideas and the passion for drawing cool things that you thought of. Most series start off with just like a base idea.
Forget it. Shut up.
Brandon
It's
Sanderson
too
brought
late.
up the premise
It's too
for
late.
Mistborn by thinking that it would be cool to write a story where the bad
Not
guy
even
won.
gonna-
He wrote Warbreaker because his editor told him he should try something more colorful after publishing Mistborn, since that world was dark and gray. Sanderson's response was to decide to create a magic system based on color and breathing. In the world of mangaka, you'll find similar things like this. Many mangaka start at a very young age in their craft, and they work their asses off just so that they can get featured in magazines. They are rookies. When people that eventually become big names are starting from the beginning and they put forth a one-shot and it ends up getting serialized, they do not have everything planned out from beginning to end. Look at virtually
Except Eiichiro Oda said he had planned out the end for One Piece, so this is pretty much...
It's just that now he's taking longer to get to the end.
That's the problem.
He's had to end the entire time. He's just kept coming up with ideas to put in between the beginning and the end.
If I die before we reach the end, my editors know what to do.
any
Alright.
interview from any
Wait,
mangaka
did I
ever
quote from him?
where this is the end.
Yeah, was that a quote from him?
Pretty much. He's mentioned that a couple times.
He said last year that we have about 5 years left in One Piece.
It's been
No,
5.
I'm talking about where like if something should happen to Oda, he's left like stuff. He's pretty much left like a blueprint plan to his editors for how the story's going to end.
Yeah, because I remember reading about that because maybe he said something about like him being sick, and he just said, "Hey, if something bad happens, they know what to do."
Alright.
Look at virtually any interview from any mangaka ever where this is discussed, and you'll see how relevant it is. Even Oda. Oda knew what he wanted to do, but the process of getting there was not set. Oda has had the beginning and the end of One Piece planned out, but he's said on numerous occasions that the last panel has been the same. But that doesn't include how you get to that point in time.
But that's irrelevant
And
from what
that's
you
a
just said
reasonable
before.
assessment in a
But you just said they don't have a good ending. You said he has the ending planned.
I mean,
What are you saying?
if the last panel was to 1,000 out of 10, well, you know what I meant. Straight flames, the best thing human history has ever produced. Does that like detract anything from the last few 1,000 chapters? So
Wait, is he trying to say that the ending is already going to be trash before he's even seen it?
So it sounds like.
he just destroyed his own argument there.
that doesn't include how you get to that point in time. And that's a reasonable assessment and a reasonable excuse, because at the end of the day, if you're an author or a creator, you are a part of a business that is hungry for ideas. You don't always have the privilege to fully craft your story before submitting it, because that's not even a smart idea. What happens if your passion gets shot down and all of your hard work and effort gets thrown away? You basically wasted your time if you spent so long thinking of every step of the journey. One Piece was originally
But what if you like doing
was
that?
supposed to end after 5 years.
Well, I mean, maybe not all the time, but when you started feeling doubt about yourself, it could lead to creative drive being out. So I see where he's coming from, but
No, I see where it's coming from too. I'm just saying it's like
I could
the first time.
I could somewhat see, but that's pretty much like that's. I want to say it's more so on the person planning out the entire thing and not thinking once that what happens if this gets rejected.
like if the last panel or even the last page of One Piece is just a fat orgy with Luffy and everyone he's ever met, and then it gets such a big disapproval thumbs down by the editors, what do you think is gonna happen then? but that's just a possibility. Not really. I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
Yeah.
If you want to look at a mangaka who no one says no to, look at what was his name, Araki for JoJo.
Yeah, look at Araki. That's the best and worst example. Because part 5 and part 4.
Throw in the body of Christ.
Jesus is canon.
Our villain shall be the
Which tells you
president
that
of the
One
United
Piece
States.
was originally a series that was supposed to end after 5 years. Which tells you that at the beginning of the story, Oda hadn't really thought of a lot of the amazing things that he was able to do and has thought of up until the point that I'm talking right now. But once One Piece became successful, Oda started adding more stuff, thinking of more ideas.
No.
His editors started suggesting he added new characters. Things that Oda had wanted to get done sooner were then stalled by years and years.
No, not exactly stalled. Because, okay, some of it you can technically say was stalled by his editors, but for the most part, it's either him sort of reluctantly to thinking this would be a great addition. So I can't even say that.
Yeah, I don't think you can say that.
Like how Kuma and the Mary's Fall were planned years prior to when they were supposed to happen. Additionally, like how Oda originally wanted Nami to be the first mate of the crew, but his editors advised against it and he was forced to change it to Zoro,
was this?
the first mate of the crew.
Fishmen were supposed to introduce within the first several chapters. Alright.
Crew, but his editors advised against it.
Alright, that's fine.
He was forced to
I
change it to
guess.
Zoro. Like how Ace wasn't supposed to be the son of Roger, and how Shanks wasn't
Wait,
planned.
what? Ace wasn't supposed to be the son of Roger?
Well, then who else was supposed to be? He's just the kid.
I do remember hearing something that they weren't always supposed to be related.
Really?
I guess related. But, all right.
So Ace would have just been some random child that Luffy knew.
Or his actual brother.
Or his actual brother.
Yeah.
But his name's Portgas D. Ace, not Mikey D. Ace, so... whatever.
Planned to be at Marineford. There should be something said about the weekly process that is Shonen Jump. You are being pressured constantly for deadlines when pushing out chapters, when you're publishing on a weekly basis or on any basis really. It's not always conducive for long-term strategy and planning because you're being rushed constantly. One Piece is a series that gained its massive audience because of its characters, but also because of its masterful world building. The world of One Piece is incredibly unique and has so many things to be invested in. The post-time skip is, at the time of this script, 425 plus chapters in length, and is composed of the following arcs: Return to Sabaody, Fishman Island, Punk Hazard, Dressrosa, Zoe, Whole Cake Island, and Wano. A total of...
That's what Wano looks like? Nice. That's unrelated.
7 arcs. 8 if you count the Reverie.
That looks like a brain.
That is a substantial amount of material. This material has given the readers a lot to take out of it. And something that we are able to take out of it is how One Piece has changed.